Most people think learning English means sitting in a quiet classroom listening to a teacher explain grammar for an hour, writing down rules and repeating words over and over again, but that's not how real people talk. That's not how real life works. You don't learn how to speak naturally by memorizing lists. You learn it by living it, by stepping into moments you didn't expect and finding your way through them. A few weeks ago something happened to me that perfectly proves this point. I was in a new city, jet-lagged and exhausted. I had just gotten off a long flight with barely any sleep. I was carrying a heavy backpack, my legs were sore, and all I wanted was to reach my hotel as quickly as possible. I wasn't thinking clearly, so I opened my ride app, tapped a few buttons and waited for my car. A few minutes later I looked up and saw a black luxury car pull up in front of me, the kind you see in movies. The windows were black, the tires shiny, the paint perfect. The driver stepped out wearing a black suit and sunglasses. He walked over, opened the door and smiled. I hesitated for a second, wondering if this was even my ride, but he called my name and waved me in. As soon as I sat down I knew something was off. The seats were soft leather, colder than I expected. There was quiet jazz music playing. The air smelled like expensive cologne. A small bottle of mineral water was waiting for me in the cup holder with a napkin next to it. I looked around, confused but too tired to ask anything. I just leaned back and let it happen. Then I checked my phone. I saw the ride confirmation screen and almost dropped the phone. I had accidentally selected the luxury executive VIP ride instead of the standard one. The price was nearly triple what I had planned to spend. I stared at it, shocked, trying to figure out if there was a way to cancel, but the driver was already halfway to my hotel. I was stuck in a fancy situation I never meant to choose. At first I was embarrassed. I imagined myself telling this story to my friends and hearing them laugh, but then something shifted. I looked out the window and noticed how calm the ride was. There was no loud honking, no sudden stops. The driver didn't speak unless I spoke first. The whole thing felt smooth, like I was part of some silent movie scene. He even asked if I preferred music or silence. I was still trying to act normal, so I just nodded and said, "Whatever you think is best." He smiled slightly and adjusted the volume. I looked out at the city and realized I was actually enjoying it. The stress I had been feeling started to fade. Maybe this mistake was exactly what I needed. By the time we arrived at the hotel I had changed my mind about the whole thing. The driver opened my door, carried my suitcase, and even wished me a peaceful evening. As he drove away I stood there thinking about what just happened. I hadn't planned it, I hadn't meant to do it, but I had just lived a completely new experience. I had learned words and expressions I'd never heard before. I had watched how politeness and service worked in a different culture, and most of all I had a story to tell, a real story, not from a textbook but from my own life. That's how real English is learned, not by sitting still and repeating rules, but by stepping into situations, feeling confused, figuring things out, and slowly getting better at understanding and responding. And that's what we give you here: real stories, real situations that help you grow your English step by step, naturally and confidently. If this story helped you, if it made you smile or think or feel something, follow us for more. You'll get a new story every day, and with every one you'll be living the language, not just learning it.